Juliet had never known what it felt like to wear new shoes. Growing up in the crowded neighborhood of Ayetoro, her feet learned to toughen against the rocky paths and dusty grounds. Her father had died when she was just 6 years old, leaving her mother with 4 children to raise alone. Life quickly turned into a battle of survival. They lived in a one-room apartment with a leaking zinc roof that announced every carried something money could not buy, a fierce determination and an uncommon beauty that often drew both admiration and predatory.
At age 13, Juliet was already known in her area for her intelligence. Her teachers always said, "Juliet, you will go far if you don't let this environment swallow you." She loved books, not because they were easy to get, her mother could barely afford her exercise books, but because they gave her a doorway out of her present misery. Every novel she borrowed from her classmates painted a world she longed to live in. Still, hunger was real. Many nights, she slept with nothing but gari soaked in water to silence the growl of her stomach. By 15, the advances started. Men, older, richer, and shameless, saw her poverty as an opportunity. Some would stop her on the road with kind smiles, pretending to care. "Juliet, you are too fine to be suffering like this. If you agree to be my friend, I will take care of your school fees." Always declined, even though deep down she knew how tempting it was. Her mother's warnings always echoed, "My daughter, poverty is not a license to sell your dignity. Remember, men can promise heaven, but leave you in hell."
When Juliet turned 17, she finished secondary school with one of the best results in her set. But university seemed like an impossible dream. Her mother could not afford the fees. That was when Mr. Adewale appeared. He was a wealthy businessman in his 40s, with a wife living abroad. Everyone in town respected him. One evening, he settled her. "I've seen your results. You're brilliant. I want to sponsor your university education, but," his eyes lingered too long, "you know what I mean." Her heart sank. She had heard of his reputation with young girls, but she had hoped he would be different with her. She thanked him politely and left. That night, she cried silently. Her dream was at risk because of her refusal. For 2 years, Juliet struggled, doing menial jobs, teaching little children in the neighborhood, and saving every coin she could. Many men offered her money, clothes, even an apartment, but always with conditions. She chose hardship over compromise.
At 19, Juliet's persistence paid off. A local women's NGO heard of her story through her pastor, who often preached about her determination. They gave her a partial scholarship. It wasn't enough to cover everything, but it was a start. Juliet entered the university with only one box of clothes and a heart full of hope. Yet life at the university was another battlefield. Girls like her, poor but beautiful, were like prey in the eyes of wealthy men and even some lecturers. Juliet faced harassment, proposals of help, and threats of failure when she refused. But she fought back, with grace and wit. She reported one lecturer anonymously, and soon he was investigated. She began to gather respect, not only for her beauty,